Good day, everyone. Welcome to Global Government News. Today is August 28th, 2010, and I'm Darko. Thank you for joining me in this Big Brother news segment. This will be the only video I'll be producing today, and I have some pretty interesting information here. This first one up is from Reuters. Actually, it's written from Wired, and I covered this a couple days ago in the last Big Brother segment, but this is a new article, so this is just something that they want to make sure they let the slaves know. Um, it's new iPhone security patent, user protection, or 1984 I Spy, and they use these terms now loosely, like a 1984. This is becoming, this is creeping towards Big Brother in 1984 in a Brave New World. Well, we're already there. If you don't know that, you need to come to terms with that reality. Is that we are already there? We've already been in that type of society. It's totally engineered. And so in here they'll try to tell us that it's some kind of debate going on about privacy, but there is no debate. They're just letting you know, and they'll try to poke fun at it and make it seem like it's cute and funny. Your next iPhone might listen to your heartbeat or scan your face to identify its rightful owner, and it could react with anti-theft measures if it ended up in the wrong hands, according to the patent recently filed by Apple. Filed in February and made public this month, the patent describes an invention that uses several methods to detect unauthorized usage of a device, such as voice, facial recognition, or a heart rate monitor. Possible, and it's funny, because these people that use these things, they carry them around like they are pacemakers or something, like they're going to die if they don't have it. Possible anti-theft measures include restricting access to some applications, gathering location data about the unauthorized user, or shutting down the device remotely. You're going to like a story that I'm getting to later about tapping into cars and controlling their brakes remotely, which is something that it was a little theory that I came up with when the Toyota recalls were going on, and they showed that picture of that one guy whose car wouldn't stop. That's my little conspiracy theory. I think that was done purposely. They tapped into his car remotely. And so here we go. One method the patent describes for detecting a stolen iPhone is checking whether it's been hacked, aka jailbroken, or its SIM card has been yanked out. Things a clever thief would do to override the iPhone security, says the up close and personal security patent has some concerned journalists screaming 1984. See, that's me, a concerned journalist, right? Interpreting the patent application. See, we're interpreting. It's not really what it is, right? It's not an invasion of privacy, but they'll say we're interpreting it as an invasion of privacy. We're interpreting the patent application as a draconian move by Apple to spy on users and punish customers who hack their iPhones. Says the system described in the patent would allow Apple to effectively kill jailbroken devices under the guise of protecting customers from theft, since it may not be able to determine whether a device has been stolen or not if it's been willingly jailbroken by users. So ignoring the possibility that a false positive, Apple's proposed theft protection might activate the spy cam while the user is in the bath or the middle of the room. And these things, you can turn it off, I believe. There's a setting, but if you don't know what the setting is, I don't have one of these things. Don't really have an interest in having one either. But if you do have one, I believe there's settings that you can turn the little screenshot off, because it does it automatically and takes screenshots. Says, or in the middle of some intimate moment, this technology seems Orwellian. See, I told you, Orwellian for another reason. It gives Steve Jobs and company the means to retaliate when iPhones are being used in ways Cupertino doesn't expressly permit, the registrar wrote. And, I just one last thing I want to say is these things were developed for the military. I mean, the military loves them, and come on, dude. The military would love to have a bunch of Blackberries in all their people's hands, tapped into them with their heartbeats, algorithms and that matched up with it. So like most of the technology, it's built and its applications are designed for the military, and then it's kind of you pay for that, and then you carry it around, and it's a little GPS to let Big Brother know where you're at, and then if they want to take a picture of you, see what's going on, they can. If they want to hear what you're saying, they can. So And people think, they joke around and talk about Big Brother and all that, but it's like, well, really, you're just doing it voluntarily. If you just fail to comply and maybe went without these little toys, then there would be no Big Brother. But you voluntarily do it, just like you walk through the airport. For the body scanner, now you may have to go on a job or a business thing or whatever, and that sucks. But as long as people keep walking through these things and keep capitulating for all these other measures to go through the airport, like these body scanners now, then then we all have to live with them, and people like me aren't going to travel ever again through the airports, which I haven't. And so if you just don't do it, then free market capitalism would say, well, the airlines and the airports are not going to allow these body scanners to be in there anymore because they're going to be losing money. So just keep, like I say, like I like to put it, keep marching towards that brave new world. Don't look back. The facial recognition software that will put a name to every photograph in the internet says a software company is developing revolutionary software which provides the ability to identify people from photographs posted on the internet. And this is old technology. I wouldn't even say it's new. Face.com has produced technology that can identify individuals on social networking sites and online galleries by comparing their images against a known picture of them. It means detailed profiles of individuals can be built up purely from online photographs, and critics have said it could lead to exploitation by employers, which they do, which on Facebook and that. Privacy concerns. Face.com has made software available that can identify people from photographs. Says the software works by creating an algorithm. See, we were just talking about that. An algorithm of the face. This is all DARPA stuff, guys. DARPA. A measurement of the arrangement of features, including the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. The company says it's 90% accurate when scanning typical images which appear on social networking sites. Face.com has previously limited the availability of software over concerns about invasion of privacy. It says here the use of facial detection technology has only been used by the UK Border Agency, and this is the Telegraph, so this is why they're talking about UK. It says Google has a tool, Picasa, which allows users to organize their photos by tagging matching faces, and Facebook uses Photo Finder. Supporters of the software, including the Red Cross, have said it could be used to track people lost in humanitarian disasters. But there are strong concerns over the accuracy of the technology and its impact on privacy. Well, there's always going to be concerned about privacy, but like I said, that will just get mulled over. Privacy, there is no privacy in the time that we're living, and there's not supposed to be privacy, and that's why you have the CEO of Google saying that basically you have no privacy and just live with it, and this is the new age that we're living in. And he just like Obama tells children to be careful, or students, be careful what you write on Facebook. It could be used against you, and it is. It's being used against people, and they're losing their jobs from it. What they say on Facebook. But I mean, as far as privacy goes, privacy of the individual, it's gone. There are no individuals anymore. If there is, there's very few and far between, and they don't give a crap about privacy. That's why I say it's pretty much dead, the age of privacy. Because if you got a whole generation now that don't mind being chipped, because students were asked this, a group of young students, very young students, and they said that they wouldn't mind. They all raised their hands if if they could have a RFID chip in them, and they all raised their hands. So, that's all it takes basically, is just to get the young people to volunteer to do this, and then it's pretty much done. Okay, we're going to keep moving here. This is a water meter reading goes high tech with 3G equipped drones. Yeah, that's right. Google's using drones now for their Google Earth mapping. They purchased some drones, or at least looking into it. Says the era of door-to-door meter reading may soon come to an end if an aerial monitoring system now being used in Israel catches on. Says Air Technology has been making water meters since the 40s, but their data collection now has amazing high-tech twist using UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, that receive data from 3G wireless equipped water meters. This way, instead of getting a single static reading once every few weeks, the drone can monitor the flow rate to help pinpoint problems. An unusually slow but steady flow usually indicates a leak, while an unusually high rate could be a sign of a water being says the battery-operated hand-launched drone can cover a large area in far less time than the manual meter reader, which is a person, right? It's an actual person that's on the ground, a human being that has a job. Then once its battery runs low, it returns to Earth using a parachute. Winner sees possibilities for the drones beyond meter reading, including traffic signal monitoring and downloading data from the security cameras. But I guess there's still a job for the person that operates it, you know, and it has to maintain it. So maybe there's actually more jobs involved in it. I don't know. But either way, like I said, it's what happened to privacy, dude? Like I said, there is no privacy. To be honest with you, I'm surprised I haven't seen any drones overhead, just flying around. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised. But the Pentagon just purchased 13 high-altitude airships, but from Lockheed Martin. These things have been in development for excuse my language, for almost 5 years now. I've known about them. They're basically blimps that sit up around pretty high up there and have the very sophisticated surveillance cameras. And well, they say that they're using all 13 for Afghanistan. And if you believe that, like you say, I have some land in California for you. This is microchipping the hip hop community. Not going to read all this, but you could just take pretty much a little look at this little card right here. That's the same thing that in the military, when I was issued my little military ID, I had an RFID chip on there, and that was in 1999. And it says here some of the notable acts were KRS-One and Immortal Technique. These guys are awake to the New World Order. They're awake to the powers that be, and who really runs the planet, and they're aware of Big Brother and the police state. So that's why people actually were like, oh, look at this. They knew what it was, This is from Cryptagon.com, Germany, to roll out ID cards with embedded RFID. They will also be used for establishing identity online. The production of the RFID chips, an integral element of the new generation of German identity cards, has started after the government gave a 10-year contract to the chip maker, NXP in the Netherlands. Citizens will receive the mandatory new ID cards from the 1st of November. I mean, this is nuts. This is just nuts, dude. The new ID card will contain all personal data on the security chip that can be accessed over a wireless connection. Yeah, a wireless connection. Get those nice RFs. Man. The new card allows German authorities to identify people with speed and accuracy. The government said these authorities include the police, customs, tax authorities. You got to be able to track this. You got to be able to track the slaves, right? And you got to be able to hunt them down, the IRS, and get their taxes from them easier, right? It makes the cattle, the sheep, more easily manageable, like cattle prodding. Fingerprint check-in tried at 24-Hour Fitness. When the 24-Hour Fitness chain recently installed finger scanners as a way of verifying members' identity, it was a public premiere of sorts for a powerful and fast-expanding technology and a test of whether consumers will embrace it. You like that, guys? Do you like that? A test of whether consumers will embrace it. It's whether the cattle will squiggle and squirm when they have a hot branding iron going in their flesh. But see, now the public are subdued now. They literally are zombies. And I don't think that they'll even squirm or anything. They will love it. And they have vending machines now where you give a thumb scan for a vending machine. You can believe me, like the facial scanning technology, this stuff's been around for a long time. And they're rolling it out to you now. But if you can think about information overload, this is what it is. It's technology overload, and they're doing it purposefully to overload you with it all at one time. It says Germany weighs Facebook ban for employers looking to hire. The German government has drafted a law preventing employers from using Facebook and other social networking sites as a means to evaluate job applicants, which is a good thing, right? But then again, they're making their citizens carry RFID chips. This is teachers asked to unfriend students on Facebook as students and policemen get fired for what they say on Facebook. Now they're being told to unfriend students. This is a school district in Florida is advising teachers not to friend students on social networking sites, claiming that teacher-student communication through this medium is, quote, inappropriate. Homeland Security to expand secure communities, which is basically them running around biometrically scanning people and profiling them. Somehow patriots are supporting that. Pre-crime technology to be used in Washington, D.C. Like there's not enough people to adopt. Childless British couple built a robot child companion.